I liked what the Dallas Cowboys did, TJ.
Oh, me too.
You know, I think that I liked Micah Parsons. There was a lot of knocks on him for what, you know, some off the field stuff and the opt out. I mean, what's interesting is if you remember correctly, Jerry Jones making the point that, like, you know, we didn't necessarily like the guys that opted out last year, and then they go and draft the guy that did.
You can't really hold that against anyone. I'm sorry.
No, you can't.
We were in a worldwide pandemic, folks, so a lot of people weren't sure.
You don't know what's going to happen. But what's interesting in all of this is I do think it's going to set a bit of a precedent. I really do. I think that we're going to see more players, you know, if they're in a position of power in terms of, like, you know, let's say Trevor Lawrence, after winning the national championship, is the number 1 overall pick, and he can't be drafted for 2 more years. I believe there's going to be some players now moving forward that, because the word opt out hadn't existed.
Yeah.
The word exists now in the vocabulary of these young players, and they will say, "Hey, I'm not going to take the chance of getting injured." Essentially, what Davis Mills did, because of the injuries that he had at Stanford, he essentially opted out of next season to be a professional football player. And so I could see that happen more down the line because the word has been introduced to these players. They can go sign with an agent. They can train and train and train and get ready for it. The only disappointment, and we heard it from a lot of players, Rashawn Slater being one of them last night, about how disappointing it was not to play in that season. It was a shortened season in the Big Ten, but still watching his teammates, guys he's worked really hard with over the years, and not being able to play with them. That will be ultimately the thing that holds some guys back. But I would not be surprised at all if we see players here in the next 5 years, after having a breakout year and being considered a high draft pick, if they're not eligible, opting out of the next year and presenting themselves ready for the NFL draft the next year. I really do believe that's going to be the case.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.